Should scroll up. You're not
Scroll
scrolling.
up. Oh. Oh wow.
Why is this still going up?
Okay. Alright, hold on.
You said I should also laugh.
Oh yeah. Okay. Wow. Do I just wait a couple seconds for people to come? Okay. Hello everyone. Excuse me for a second. Trying to put my hair in a ponytail. Hello everyone. Please excuse. This is my first time going live on Facebook. So, for anyone who doesn't know, I'm Kenny Annalisa McCowan, Teresa McCowan's daughter. I'm 16. I just graduated high school, and I've always wanted to hijack my mom's life, so I decided to come on and talk about a few things. Okay, so the first thing I really wanted to talk about, sorry, this is annoying. The first thing I really wanted to talk about was what I've seen go on kind of behind the scenes with my mom's campaign. I'm not going to say any names because I'm just going to keep it simple. Um, Behind the scenes, a lot of people's actions, a lot of the things going on, I was disappointed with the fact that these adults that call them, let me take it back. Let me find a better way to word this. These adults that run cities, leaders of communities and stuff like that, they act like they're in middle school. Leave Shawnee, that's my brother. It was done, but then I decided it doesn't look okay, so I fixed it. Okay, so yes, I just think it's sad the way a lot of these adults were acting, and I also think it's disappointing how a lot of the children I've been in contact with about my mom's campaign, whether they support her or not, I thought it was very disappointing that the children could act and be a little more respectful than a lot of the adults who call themselves being community leaders. So that was one thing that really disappointed me while watching in the backgrounds of my mom's campaign. Another thing that really disappointed me was a lot of people say that they're all for the Black Lives Matter movement, or they're all for supporting Black women, Black men, or just Black and brown people in general. They want more people from the Black and brown community to get involved in politics. But as soon as there's somebody running from that community who has lived many, many, many of the issues that people from those such community are trying to push to be heard, when someone is running to change that, so that those communities get what they need, it's like instead of working with her, a lot of people are pushing back. It's like, and it was shocking to see it's the same people that say that they support Black and brown communities and they want them to be more involved. They're pushing back, doing everything to push back. Some of the things that I have seen, mind blown. It's a lot of the things that are going on, that went on, is stuff that happens in 6th grade. Like, when the 6th graders are being a little petty and they're doing stuff to be mischievous, that's what I felt like was going on. I felt like I was in school again. And that was very disappointing to see, because I felt like that a lot of the people I talked to my age were more mature than a lot of these people who are backing certain campaigns and stuff. So that's one thing I had to say, and that's coming from my point of view. But I just thought it was disappointing that a 16-year-old is seeing this and like, wow, that's childish, and I'm a child. I thought, that was quite shocking. Another thing I would like to talk about is getting the children involved. So I know I say this a lot. But it's important because we are the future. When we grow up, some of us are going to want to run for office. Some of us are just going to want to become community leaders. But how are we supposed to do that if we don't know anything about our community, if that makes sense? I think that parents should start getting their children more involved. Not like forcing them, but kind of, take them to an event sometimes. Even if they don't want to go, I know sometimes I don't want to go, but when I go, I enjoy myself. Take them to an event sometimes. Sit down and talk to them about a thing or two. Watch the news with them, even though the news can be a bit biased. Watch the news with them. Show them something from the paper. Do something to get them so that they know what's going on. Because I know before my mom put me into a lot of the stuff that she's in right now, I had no idea what was going on. And I was shook to find out that a lot of bad things were happening in my community, in my neighborhood, on my street. I was shocked. I was shook. So I think that parents should really start talking to their children a bit more about this and getting involved in those school board meetings, because these schools, I don't understand. I don't understand sometimes. These schools talk about how they want to make communication better for the students, but they don't ask the students. And if they do ask the students when they do ask the students what they would prefer or what should be changed in the schools, they don't ask the ones that, they don't ask the students that need to be asked, if that makes sense. A lot of times they ask the NHS students or the IB students, and those are kind of, in my school, a lot of the children there would call those the smarter students, and sometimes it's not a very diverse group. They ask those group of people, what would you prefer? Why are kids in the hallways? Why don't children want to learn? You're asking the wrong group of people. Get the children from out of the hallways and ask them. And the parents of those children need to be in those meetings so that you can say what needs to be said. And you can say, the education, no, NHS means National Honor Society in Schenectady High School. And IB is international something. I'll get back to that. But it's kind of like a program with harder classes and stuff like that. But the parents need to be at those meetings to let the teachers and school board know that, listen, you're asking the wrong people, for one, and for two, education needs to be more about us. For example, Schenectady High School is a very diverse high school. There is a lot of different type of people in that school, and in class we don't learn about ourselves. I have not learned anything outside of people like Thomas Edison, and I don't want to learn about that. Thomas Edison is no importance to me. I don't know enough about people who look like me, and that's why sometimes I don't even want to go to class. Sometimes you'll see me in the scene shop at Schenectady High School because I don't want to be there. It's boring. Why am I learning about Thomas Edison and Susan B. Anthony? They don't look like me, so I'm not going to go to that class if I feel like it's not benefiting me in some type of way. And Susan B. Anthony was racist. That's one thing they don't teach in schools. So yes, that's another thing I wanted to talk about. And I'm trying to think because I didn't take any notes. This was just kind of last minute. I've always wanted to hijack this. But what's some other point I've made to you while I'm ranting?
Lots, baby. It's all on you. I'm not going to tell you what to say. You say what you need to say. You asked to hijack.
Yes, I did. I did. Because I'm mad. I'm mad. This is ridiculous. Like I said, some of these adults are acting real childish right now. And I'm 16.
That's insult to children.
Yes, I'm 16. Why do I feel like this is another episode of Mean Girls? It's old. It's old. It's played out. It's played out. It is. Yes, exactly. You got people want to make Schenectady better, but how is Schenectady or New York? How is any community gonna get better if we're working against each other? I mean, this is like written in books. You don't work against each other, like you work together. This was work written in childhood books.
Stronger together.
Yes, stronger together. My brain, my 16-year-old brain cannot comprehend why we're acting like Mean Girls. Why people are acting like Regina George. I cannot comprehend it. I can't. And then their excuse is, well, this person isn't doing this right. This person didn't ask for permission. This person didn't do this, that, and the third. Well, maybe that person feels like what you want them to do isn't what the community needs. Some of these people who are community leaders, they do it for the money. You haven't seen them. This is why I said in my mom's last live, remember what community leaders were out protesting or talking about Black Lives Matter, and remember the ones that have been quiet this whole time. Because those same community leaders who have been quiet this whole time, once they get called out, they're out handing out hand sanitizer. 3 months late. Like, come on. Come on. Come on. This is not about taking photos in front of stores with hand sanitizer. And this is not about holding a sign up at a Black Lives Matter protest just to take a picture and then leave. You have to be really about your community, and you can't just be there for the photo ops and the money. At that point, what are you doing? Like, what are you really doing? And also, what is the community doing? Because a lot of people in the community are complaining about this, but when it comes time to vote that person out, where are they?
Oh.
Yes, you need to vote. And when it comes time to speak your mind, say your piece, they're quiet. Being quiet isn't going to change anything at all. It's not. And it just gets me upset. It really gets me upset. And I keep ranting to my mom about that. A lot of these people, it just gets me upset. Like, we're acting like children right now. And I'm a child. Acting like children. It's ridiculous. Grown adults who work for our community and are trying to make change, trying to bring in more money, trying to bring the community together, are acting like children. I thought you guys graduated high school a long time ago. Why is this nonsense still going on? And I could tell you right now, speaking for my peers, we're over it. The youth is over it. Because while you guys are going back and forth, being petty to each other, because this person's running and you didn't want them to, you're infecting us. This is our lives. You're not running. You shouldn't be running because you want to make money until you retire. You know, you want to make sure that bag is in place. No, you're running to make sure that the future generations, the ones that are growing up currently, have everything put together. Everything's together for us. We're involved and stuff. You shouldn't be running because you're feeling mischievous and you want to mess stuff up. No, that's being petty. These are the type of people that just need to stay home. Please, retire. How about that? Retire. Because we're over it. The youth is over it. I want to be able to go to college without having to worry about tuition being raised from $60,000 to $80,000. I want to be able to get financial aid. I want to be able to afford health care. I want to be able to go to the doctor without worrying that I'm going to come back home with an $80,000 check for a few band-aids and stitches.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's so sad that at 16, that's what I'm worrying about. Oh, I need to get a job, save every single paycheck so that when I'm older, I'm not struggling, because I could be wheezing, having a heart attack. I have saved all this money for college, fall, have a heart attack, heaven forbid. The ambulance has to come and get me, and then I have to pay a fat check, my whole tuition, to the hospital because I almost died. Like, this is absolutely ridiculous, and this is the stuff we're trying to change, but instead of actually caring about this stuff, people are being petty. Why are you being petty? Why are you being petty? You're older than me by years, and you're not seeing this? You're not seeing this. You're not seeing why this is dumb. You're not seeing why this whole thing just makes no sense. Why you were going back and forth with that same person because they didn't ask for permission to run. You could have been backing that person, giving them money, making sure they got what they need to get, so that in the end, everyone's good, everyone's okay, the youth is good, we're growing up in peace, working together, communities are back together, things aren't falling apart. Are people not seeing, like, maybe I need to run for office, because this is absolutely ridiculous. I'm actually over it.
Allie's been calling for you.
I'm actually so sick of it. This is why I graduated early, so I could get my education, and so that one day maybe I could run for office, because people aren't hearing me now. I don't think people are hearing me now. And another thing, if there's any of my peers watching this, we need to start speaking up for ourselves. We're complaining to our parents are complaining to our community leaders, and it falls on deaf ears. We need to start making noise, because I don't want to grow up worrying about college tuition. I don't want to grow up worrying that I won't be able to afford an apartment and the rent is $900. I don't want to have to worry about finding a job that pays at least minimum wage. I don't want to have to do that. That's stressful. 16 years old and I'm stressing about this. I'm surprised I don't have gray hairs by now. I'm stressed. And me and my peers don't want to grow up like this. A lot of my peers don't want to go to college because it's too expensive. A lot of my peers, they are so smart, but they cannot afford college, and they know what's going on in the community. They can't afford college, they can't find a good job, so they want to go to the military. Like, that's so disappointing. All these intelligent people don't want to get any further education because they don't want to be in debt and still paying off all those bills when they're in their 40s. It's ridiculous. This is just my ranting session, guys. But yes, I'm sick of it. So sick of it. I wish people could be in my brain for a day and see why I think everything that's been going on is absolutely childish. And you know what? I'm just going to say it. And if you get mad, then the shoe definitely fits and you should wear it. Grow up. Please grow up. Just grow up. Grow up. You got a 16-year-old telling you to grow up? Like, really think about that. It's come to the point where you got a 16-year-old telling you to grow up. Just let that simmer in for a minute. Yes. I'm over it. I'm so sick of this. We just want things to be better. Is it so hard for us to come together? we're just making things more complicated by resisting. You're making things more complicated. You ask for change, you get change, and then you're scared of that change? Are you serious? Then don't ask. I can't. Are you serious? You ask for change. You say, hey, we want this person, we want someone else to run. We want someone else in this seat because this person isn't doing what we asked. This person's obviously only there for the money. And then another person runs, and then you're scared of the change? Oh my gosh. Are you serious? Are you serious right now? These people are getting scolded by me. I'm scolding you. This is absolutely ridiculous. You ask for change, you get the change, you're scared of the change. And then you do everything to stop that change from happening by being petty, thus making the situation that you want to change worse and affecting the youth that are growing up and trying to get the things to change in the first place. Are you not seeing where I'm getting here? I feel like I'm preaching. Are you not seeing where I'm getting here? Why this is absolutely ridiculous?
What do you want to say to them now?
What I want to say is, like I said before, please grow up. This is not high school anymore. You guys aren't in high school anymore. Stop doing everything in your power to be petty. That's not what being a leader is about. Being petty because someone doesn't agree with you. That's acting like you're 6. And I also want to say, you should be, whether you agree with whoever is running or not, you should be proud that someone stepped up and tried to do something in the first place. Because a lot of these people were complaining. A lot of these people were begging someone else to get up and do something. And once that person gets up, whether you agree with them or not, agree with their points or not, you should recognize the fact that they got up from complaining, sitting down and just letting it happen to try to fix things for us, to try to make things better for us. And instead of being petty and doing everything in your power to make sure that they fail, you should be holding that person's crown up and saying thank you. Thank you for trying. Thank you for getting up and speaking for those people who cannot speak for themselves. Okay, so this has been almost, how long do you usually do this for?
Half an hour.
Okay, so we got a little bit more time left. So, nobody really said anything, which is fine. But
You don't have to go that long. Just say what you got to say and be done.
okay, I just wanted to come on here and rant because sitting in the background, sitting in the back lines, just hearing all this stuff happening, all this pettiness, all this childness, all this childishness, yes, happening. It's getting me upset. And I just thought it was mind-boggling, and I'm honestly flabbergasted that a 16-year-old had to come on here and scold a few adults and tell you to get it together and grow up. Anyways, let me finish this off. So, we want change and unity, and that change comes with voting for my mother, Teresa McCallum. Wait, hold on. Teresa McCallum, okay? And like I said, whether you agree with her points or not, you should be happy that someone is standing up and speaking for things that you did not want to speak for or couldn't speak for. Whether you just didn't want to get involved in politics, whether you didn't know how, whether you didn't know who to talk to, you should be happy that someone's standing up to try to change things instead of being petty. So yes, that's all I had to say. If you get mad, the shoe fits. Bye.